In Palestine, Israeli aircraft attacked at the Nasser Medical Complex, which includes 4 hospitals. The Nasser Children's Center, the Radices Oncology Center, the Ophthalmology Hospital, and the Mental Health Hospital. As a result, several citizens were killed and dozens injured, including children suffering from cancer. Chinese President Xi Jinping met with South African Deputy President Paul Mashatile in Beijing on Monday. On Monday, the UN World Food Programme warns that more than 1.6 million children under the age of 5 are at risk of malnutrition in South Sudan in 2024, mainly due to the effects of flooding. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Marrero from the teleSUR headquarters in Caracas, Venezuela. We'll begin with the news. Stay with us. Israel attacked the Nasser Medical Complex, which includes 4 hospitals: the Nasser Children's Center, the Radices Oncology Center, the Ophthalmological Hospital, and the Mental Health Hospital. As a result, several citizens were killed and dozens were injured, including children suffering from cancer. The authorities denounced that the children destroying food stores and solar energy systems in the complex, where several ambulances and civilian cars surrounding the hospital were destroyed. The doctors carried out direct care for children who have been most affected since Israel began targeting the Gaza Strip. In the Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis City, Gaza Strip correspondent Mohammed Al-Saifi witnesses heartbreaking scenes as wounded arrive. After a Zionist bombing, Al-Saifi captured with his camera the arrival of ambulances with bodies of wounded or dead children. Doctors tried their best to save the life of wounded with whether that have available. Aims, tears, and desperation, health personnel provides first aid. These images have become a daily occurrence in the face of the Israeli genocide against the Palestinian people. Those that survive the relentless attack have but one question: where are their loved ones? On Monday, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres urged an immediate ceasefire in the Israeli-Palestine conflict as he warns that the bombardment Gaza Strip was becoming a graveyard for children.
Gaza is becoming a graveyard for children. Hundreds of girls and boys are reportedly being killed or injured every day. More journalists have reportedly been killed over a 4-week period than in any conflict in at least 3 decades. More United Nations aid workers have been killed than in any comparable period in the history of our organization. I salute all those who continue their life-saving work despite the overwhelming challenges and risks. Nothing can justify the deliberate torture, killing, injuring, and kidnapping of civilians. The protection of civilians must be paramount. I'm deeply concerned about clear violations of international humanitarian law that we are witnessing. Let me be clear. No party to an armed conflict is above international humanitarian law.
Palestinian Premier Mohammed Tayed cried while reviewing the conditions of the people in Gaza during his opening speech at the Palestinian cabinet meeting on Tuesday in the West Bank city of Ramallah.
Children write their names on their bodies so that their bodies can be identified. The mother of the 3 children who were buried under the rubble tells her children, "Let me see you, even in a dream." Thousands of children are losing their lives, and in the world they are preparing to celebrate International Children's Day. I call on the United Nations to cancel this celebration and publish pictures of the Palestinian children who were absent from their schools and kindergartens due to the Israeli killing machine.
The Palestinian To comments by the Israeli Minister of Jerusalem and Heritage Affairs, Hamhayin Eluyes, who said on Sunday that dropping a nuclear weapon on the Gaza Strip is an option.
The Israeli Minister of Heritage was not satisfied with 10,000 martyrs, more than 25,000 wounded, and 1 million displaced people. He wanted to see Hiroshima in Gaza. He wanted to see genocide accomplished with the nuclear bombs Israel possesses. This bloodthirsty person wants to kill for the purpose of killing.
Another night in the Gaza Strip, which means another night of fear for the Palestinians. Israel continues to shield Palestine with white phosphorus and internationally banned weapon. From Gaza, our correspondent Nur Harasan updates us on the situation there.
When the daylight is gone, it means another horrific night for the people of Gaza. The people here are afraid of the night. Why? Because several reasons. First of all, the Israeli warplanes intensifies its bombardment and airstrikes on the Gaza Strip during the night. Secondly, they shower the Gaza Strip with phosphor bombs, especially at night. Phosphor bombs are known for their very strong smell, very much like several tear gas bombs. These bombs actually offer the Israeli warplanes good lightning in the Gaza Strip, especially that there is no electricity here in Gaza. At the same time, the fireball from the white phosphor bombs can easily set fire to any home it lands on. For now and over the past hours, the Israeli warplanes have been striking Palestinian residential homes, also around the Indonesian hospital in northern Gaza, around the Al-Quds hospital in Tel El-Hawa neighborhood in central Gaza. And actually, the last time we talked to a paramedic that came from Al-Quds hospital this morning, he said that now all the roads, all the streets towards the Al-Quds hospital are now totally closed, which means that there is more than 14,000 people who fled their homes, and now they are taking shelter inside the Al-Quds hospital, adding to this number around 400 people of patients that are staying inside the Al-Quds hospital. These people are now disconnected from the Gaza Strip. The food and the water they have would barely last for 2 days. However, they refused to evacuate the hospital. The doctors, the nurses, even the patients and the people who are taking shelter, they are refusing to leave the hospital. Nur Harazin, teleSUR, Gaza.
Let's take a very short break, but remember you can now join us on our TikTok account as teleSUR English, where you'll be able to see news in different formats, news updates and more. Stay tuned for more news. Welcome back to From the South. On Monday in Paraguay, hundreds of people mobilized in the main streets with multiple demonstrations in rejection of the non-compliance of the labor code on maternity. Paraguayan employees, many of them women workers, demands improvements such as the resistance of pregnancy or the breastfeeding women's dismissed from their jobs, the fulfillment of Social Security and Christmas bonuses. Pro-choice advocates campaign in the United States on Monday ahead of high strike votes in the state of Ohio. Social activists are urging residents to vote in favor of explicitly ensuring abortion rights in the state constitution. Ohio will decide on Tuesday whether or not to include abortion rights in the Constitution, a vote that should allow Democrats and Republicans to fine-tune their national strategy on this central issue ahead of the 2024 presidential election. U.S. social activists expressed their opinion about Roe v. Wade law overturning that eliminating the constitutional right to abortion after almost 50 years, and that Ohio State will define a polling station on Tuesday.
It's our body, and we have the right. And the government is trying to take it away from us, and they shouldn't have the right.
I didn't think it could happen, so it was really hard, and to feel sick about, like, being complicit in it too. So, yeah, it was tough, and it just, having somebody say what you can and can't do with your body is really scary.
The 39th edition of the Havana International Fair, the FIFAB 2023, began its activities on Monday with the participation and exchange between exhibitors, businessmen, and professionals from Cuba and abroad. Considering the main commercial exchange of Cuba and the Caribbean, the event will be held at the international venue of the Expo Cuba at Fireground until November the 11th, a meeting point for all the actors of the national economy. Let's take our last break, but before we invite you to visit our YouTube channel at teleSUR English, where you'll be able to watch our interviews, top stories, special broadcasts, and more. Hit the subscribe button and active the notification bell to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. One financial break, don't go away. Welcome back. Spain said on Sunday that nearly 32,000 people, migrants from West Africa, that have arrived so far this year on its Canary Islands, setting a new record. Regional authorities said 31,933 people have arrived in the archipelago, up from 31,678 during the 2006 migrant crisis. The islands are just 100 kilometers off of the northwest coast of Africa. Although there are also boats from Gambia, Mauritania, Morocco, and West Sahara, most of the arrivals this year are young people from Senegal seeking better opportunities in Europe. UN peacekeepers in the Democratic Republic of the Congo announced a joint operation with the National Army on Friday designed to stop M23 rebels from capturing key eastern cities. The announcement comes after a surge in fighting with the M23 group since last month, which has forced 200,000 people to flee their homes, according to the UN, following a period of relative calm. It also comes after the Congolese government called for the departure of the unpopular UN peacekeepers force known as MONUSCO. In Nigeria, an armed group killed at least 11 farmers and several more are missing after an attack on rice fields in the northeastern the Borno state, and the militant men and residents said on Monday. Farmers are open target by Islamic militants when again a 14-year conflict in northeastern Nigeria, where 40,000 people have been killed and more than 2 million displaced since 2002. Chinese President Xi Jinping met with South African Deputy President Mashatile in Beijing on Monday. Noting that this year marked the 25th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and South Africa, Xi said bilateral relations has entered a golden era. Xi recalled his fourth state visit to South Africa in August this year, during which he and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa agreed that the two countries should be strategic partners of high-level mutual trust, development partner making progress together, friendly partners in mutual understanding, and global partners with a commitment to justice. In Guatemala, several departments have been affected by floods and landslides due to the overflow of rivers as a result of the heavy rains that have affected the country. The effects of a cold front and a low pressure system caused heavy rains in the country, mainly affected 3 departments in the northeastern and central zone, where rivers sweep and reach several houses. At least 26,688 people have been affected by the floods. On Monday, the UN World Food Programme warns that more than 1.6 million children under the age of 5 are at risk of malnutrition in South Sudan in 2024, mainly due to the effects of flooding. South Sudan has been plagued by chronic instability and political ethnic violence since its grand independence from Sudan in 2011. This country is around 11 million people and is also confronted with extreme climate phenomenon, including major floods with potentially devastating effects for millions of people. The UN humanitarian agency has recently confirmed that thousands of people are trapped in flood areas following heavy rains in Somalia's Jubaland state. The Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs said in a statement that heavy rains that started last month have elevated water levels of the Juba River, causing flooding in riverine areas of the state. We have come to the end of this news brief, but before saying goodbye, we want to thank our Caribbean audience, especially the audience of Trinidad and Tobago. We are pleased to share our newscast and contribute to provide an alternative news sources of the latest world events. You can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net, and also join us on our socials. We're on Facebook, on X, and on Instagram as well. For telesur English, I'm from the South, Tamara Marrero. Thank you for watching.